Yes, perfect. So welcome to this Her Hack Upskilling Workshop hosted by Constructor Academy and its amazing team. You will learn today how to prototype an LLM-powered app. And can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. So just for your information, Her Hack is really an initiative that is a series of events, and our goal is to really inspire, empower more women in tech. And for this, there is different. Oh, we have a question from Lydia. Do you want to put it in the chat?
I'm allowed to talk to Lydia. So what do you want to ask, Lydia? You need to...
There's no question. I'm not sure if it's coming from me. Sorry, there must be more.
Okay.
No worries. So to
Can I interrupt you, Astrid, for a
yes,
second?
for sure.
Just so that we avoid this situation like the wrong the false questions, etc. So let's do it like this. Whoever wants to be able to ask questions with their voice and whoever wants to turn on their cameras, please raise hands now. And in the meantime, when Astrid is talking and introducing her hack, we will promote you to panelists, so you will be able to turn on your video and also your audio. So if you raise hands now, I guess Lydia maybe is, yeah, then we will do it. And whoever wants to just, let's say, quietly follow and maybe enjoy your dinner, then you can, you just keep as attendee. And all of you have a chance to write the questions in chat. So they will be hopefully answered by Kunal and by Katarina or by me. Yes, and otherwise, feel free to raise your hand and you will be promoted to panelist. Hi.
And we have a question of Margareta. I can actually only see organizers, not other participants. I have no option to turn on the camera or voice. So as Ekaterina explained, you need to raise your hand so we can promote you as a panelist, and then you will able to do so. So to come back on this presentation of the slide, so Her Hack is really an amazing initiative that is really working to empower more women in tech, but also provide the participants to grow their skill and really learn some new expertise. So this is really what we're doing. And so we are having this hackathon on 2 days, beginning of November. It's really a safe place. Every level is accepted, even people with no prior background. So it's really, yes, a place where you can brainstorm, think, design, prototype. So there will be no high coding skills needed or ask for this event. So really feel free and dare to also get out of your comfort zone, because last year for some of our participants, it was really a life-changing and just meeting other people that are also super motivated, super inspired by female role models. It was really an amazing adventure. So feel free to come. Everybody is welcomed. And just be aware to secure your spot before the registration closes on the 23rd of October. So you can scan or even go on our website, herhack.ch, and there you will find all the information. So now I will leave the place to Ekaterina, our amazing host for tonight, and she will learn you everything you need to know on LLM. So,
Astrid?
Yes.
Would you mind to ask a question?
Yes.
Is it possible to join for this hackathon event only for 1 day?
It depends on your team. If you find a team that is ready to accept you only for 1 day, then we have no we don't like it, it's really up to your team. What we really recommend is really 2 days, because you will be working on 2 days on the solution. So it's really up to your team if you find one ready to accept you in these conditions.
Okay, thank you. Clear.
Thanks, thank you, Astrid, for this amazing introduction. And I also encourage women and men and guys as well to join hackathon. It's a very nice experience. I also did hackathon myself and participated as a mentor. It's really, really enriching and helps you to develop new skills. So yeah, I will be your host for today. Let's quickly speak about the questions. So feel free to raise your hand if you want to ask your question. I will see it, and then yeah, I will ask what you want to ask. Otherwise, feel free to write also your questions in chat. Kunal and Katerina, who are here with me today, they will help you answer this. And yeah, that's about questions. And I will introduce you shortly how do we go with today's hackathon. So it will be some agenda soon. And I think we can start if you're ready. And by the way, happy to see your faces, whoever turned on the cameras. And yes, then feel free to do so if you want. And yeah, also feel free to ask me questions. So it's a bit about myself. So originally I did my PhD in computational fluid dynamics. I studied, I was a researcher in the Center for Micro and Nanoscale Dynamic of Dispersed Systems, where I did my computational fluid dynamics tasks. And then I decided to switch from academia to industry. And I think it was really the best decision I made since I moved to Switzerland. So basically, I joined then a team as a teaching assistant for data science in 5 years ago, basically. Now I work as a program manager and in data science and data science consultant at Constructor Academy for 2 years, 2.5 years. And also recently, I became Z by HP Global Data Science and AI Ambassador. This is about the really powerful hardware for HP. So I'm delivering some interesting results with the hardware. I'm experimenting with deep learning tasks, and I publish information about this. I'm doing workshops and webinars. And also now, this year and 2 years ago, I was a HerHack facilitator, meaning that I'm joining as a mentor and doing this wonderful, hopefully, workshop where you're going to learn something. Astrid, of course, she introduced that, okay, you will learn everything about LLMs. I need to disappoint you. You cannot learn everything in 1.5 hours. But you will learn something probably, and especially how to leverage AI and LLMs in your apps, right? How can you do like different apps with LLMs? So yes, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And I also actually, if I can ask you, Kunal, to share the link for the slides in chat, so that all the links in the slides will be available to our participants. Please do share. Also helping me is Katerina first, is our CEO, our amazing CEO, and Kunal Sharma, who has also a PhD in biotech. He's our data science consultant, so he will help you answer your questions in chat and yes, share with you some useful information. So that's about me and about the team that is going to be with you today. So as I said, I work in Constructor Academy. So what is Constructor Academy? What do? We offer high impact technology education we have different programs, and we help people to find jobs. So we offer immersive technology programs and for individuals who want to boost their careers, let's say working as a journalist, but want to switch to a full stack developer or like data scientist, or companies seeking to basically do something interesting with data or like for the web development. So people who want to test how they can leverage AI in their companies. So we also do consultancy in the really hot, nice, and let's say fresh technology. So we are located in Zurich. I personally located, me and Kunal, we are in Zurich. Katharina is in Munich, and we have also classes there. We also in Bremen, and of course, remote, as you can join remotely as well. So that some of our students, they also join remotely. So what we have is that more than 1,000 of graduates already working in the technology, like data scientists and developers. Also more than 200 projects. The projects, actually, you can take an inspiration from here as well. So I can show you data science projects. So for example, we work with companies. It's about also, I will talk about this a bit later. So that's what we have is, let's say, different companies we work with, like Comparis. This is the Swiss company where we developed the app, actually also streamed it up for finding the vibe of the neighborhood. As you know, Comparis, they compare different things like insurances, apartments, prices, etc. So that also they wanted to know if person is applying for an apartment, they want to live, they need to know in which kind of space, in which kind of surroundings they want to live. And it's possible to do with data based on population, based on number of restaurants nearby. And yeah, there's also, we work with BMW from Germany, testing their new electric motors, finding the failures in these motors, which is of course not so many, but still finding anomalies in this, yeah. And also some other projects like sustainability reports for engageability. Sustainability is a company who are doing the sustainability reports assessment. They're doing it like personally, and we also did the project with them. So actually, Stephanie, who is here today, also did project with them. And for developing an app of quite similar actually, but more advanced, of course, that's what we are going to do today. But our students, they developed an app reading these sustainability reports and basically helping the specialists to automatize the task. Because before it was about 1 day for one report assessment, and with this app, they of course can do it in some hours, in some even minutes, because they already have some hints from the app. And yeah, so there's another different projects. So that's what we do. Our students do it in the end. We also have instructors from industry, really great specialists in their respective fields. And I hope I gave a bit of overview what we are doing. So yeah, also we have this full stack development and data science programs. Again, full stack development is for building web-based applications like front end and back end. And data science is learn technologies for like driven insights from data. And AI and generative AI and LLMs, they're actually related to data science, of course, because with LLMs, this is kind of based also on data. And we have courses start soon, so feel free to check it out. The technologies, yes, you can see here. And also we have, for beginners, we have Python programming course and Master in Generative AI course. So for generative AI, we start next week, actually, no preparation is needed. So these courses, they're kind of career programs. So after these courses, they are designed to help you find jobs in industry. And these courses, they're short courses, they're upskilling. So basically you're not, actually there are people who find jobs based on these courses, but it's more career help here. And this will teach you how to program in Python or learn about AI tools, how they build, the history of generative AI, the different techniques, of course. And in this one, there's a more advanced. That's what we are going to talk about today. It's very comprehensive and it's more coding involved. So this one is kind of quite interesting course. You can check out this as well. So I think we are quite good with introductions and time-wise, I mean. And whenever you have questions, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn or to Katarina or me or Kunal or right here in chat. Again, so what I'm going to talk in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give a bit of overview of the technology we are going to use today. And also starting from 6, I hope we will start already with prototyping this LLM and Streamlit app using Colab. So you will get all the links so that you don't need to set up your environments. And then I plan to do some Q&A session, and I hope that you can follow along with me. And whatever questions, the things that doesn't work, we can discuss it. I think we can do a live discussion or questions in the chat. And maybe you can share your screens and show it. Then we will deploy it. I also will demonstrate how to do it. And then we will have another Q&A session and the help session. So what else? Yeah, and then I think I will stay a bit longer to answer the rest of the questions. And yeah, whatever, if there are any questions about hackathon in general, because I can talk a bit hackathons a bit more about LLMs or about our programs, whatever you think might be interesting. Probably for another like 15-30 minutes. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, that's about it. Any questions so far? So everyone can see my screen, right? Everyone can see slides. Okay, good. So you got the links in the chat, right? Kunal shared the links, I see. So you can see also, okay, I see, now I see emojis. Okay, this is on the right corner of, yeah. Okay, good. Yes, you can react with emojis if there's you can hear me or if you cannot, etc., etc. So yeah, thanks. So next one, we are going to a small overview, right? What is for hackathon or what is prototyping basically? So prototyping is because we are going to create kind of not a product, we actually going to create a functioning app, but it's of course in order to make it like fully functioning, company based, etc. Then of course you need a bit more tweaking in this app. But for prototyping, what is this? Is basically when you create something functional, something quick, and especially useful in hackathons, right? So what you need to do is find the important problem that also you will need to do in hackathon, that you will choose the challenge that you like the most, and then, okay, you find a team, which is most likely the best one will be to have complementing skills. For example, one person will be a data scientist or like a generative AI specialist. The other one is a full stack developer or coder. The other one is project manager, and the other one who is good in pitching, for example. So if you have at least 4 these roles, it will be great. If you have 5 people in a team, the 5th can be, for example, another data scientist or another coder. So try to balance your teams. And definitely it should bring you some benefits when the teams are balanced. And focus on business value, right? Of course, in hackathon, it's also nice to experiment a bit with new technologies. This is the best place to do it, by the way. But also don't lose focus on business value, because you will be judged by the companies who provide you the challenges, and they will evaluate how do you how is your solution is fit with their business vision. So there was a situation, for example, in hackathon, so that there was some people, like there was 4 teams, I think, and like some of the teams, they developed a good solution, but only one team actually was focusing strictly on this business value, and it was the winning team in the end. So please don't lose focus on this. Yeah, as we are talking about data science, so that how can you solve someone's problems with data, but there might be not necessarily only data challenges, that might be also some kind of challenges related to creating a prototype, let's say like Figma prototype, or the concept or the idea in general, how to solve the tasks. And of course, you need to visualize and demonstrate it, right? The thing is that in real life, you have, let's say, for creating this prototype from 1 month to 3 months, and it's kind of enough time to really experiment a bit, to ask for feedback, etc. But in hackathon, you have 2 days, and therefore the stressful girl here is doing her best for this last minutes before the submission of the assignments. Don't be stressed, because we have really good solution, which is Streamlit. And Streamlit is low-code front-end solution for you if you have let's say, data problem. The Streamlit is a good example how you can deal with it. So I will show you first some examples. What is Streamlit apps look like, right? So they are simple apps which contain the information about your project. I mean, it's based on what you put in there, of course. This was one of the projects of our students, so you can put the interactive visualizations, like this is a fancy Sankey diagram where you see the flows of one type to another type, like from one class to another class. You can choose different, it's interactive, so it's and you can share it with other people as well, so you can access it from anywhere. So it's fully functioning app, but it's a bit limited in functionality, but it's quite good for the hackathons because you can learn it really fast, and you need maybe 1-2 days to get used to work with this. And today I will show you how it works, and I think it's quite convenient. So this was for transformer model. This was a project about the communication between NASCAR pilots. The NASCAR was our client. And basically what we did, we analyzed if there's a dangerous message in when they communicate. So for example, my car is on fire, it would be detected as danger. Or let's say, I want to drink, it's maybe, let's do it like this, want to drink. Let's see what kind of classification it gives to us. If it's working. I hope it works. Okay, it did some computations. And okay, so we have, I want to drink, some kind of race info, non-technical talk. As we see, it's really non-technical talk, right? That is if person wants to drink, or it's something with the car. I don't know why, but it's okay. It's less sure that it's something with the car is happening. So, or like my car is on fire. It will give you, different answer, hopefully. Yeah, you see break, right? You see that something is breaking, so it classifies it's actually quite correct, and then it's like something else, right? So we see how this app can function, and this is about the developers. So Adriano is our generative AI program manager right now, and he's helping in the courses. And as you can see, so this was the team of the students who developed this app. So it is quite doable and quite convenient. So I like this tool a lot, and we always work with this in our courses. Can you share the metrics for this model? I'm not so sure because it was done a long time ago, but not at the moment right now. But I can look for this and share it later if you're interested. Okay. Then what else? There is also generative AI app, chatting with your docs. This is done by someone else from Streamlit community. This is not ours. So I also tested it. You kind of can ask questions about the Streamlit documentation itself. So are you integrated with sklearn, for example? sklearn is the package that is responsible for machine learning. So Streamlit itself does not have direct integration. However, you can use a scikit-learn without a Streamlit. So there is some answering is possible. So you can create kind of chats, also powered by LLMs. So this one with Llama Index. And there is a blog post about this. So how to build it from scratch. So if you're interested, there's instructions how to do it. And you can actually, after our workshop, you can go to the Streamlit and see how other apps are done. It's quite powerful. And this is what we are going to do today. Somewhat similar again for the Streamlit app. We are going to create an app to chat with our files, where you can browse the files and let's say a recommendation for her hack. Let's see, SV is open and I need to provide my key. I will share actually the key with you later today, or like we run it with a large language model, but for large language model, it will not run. You see the app is running, but as on Streamlit Cloud, there is no GPUs. So you can run this app only locally. And for this, you will need a powerful GPU to run, like this Z by HP computers, for example. I cannot click the link. Like these mobile workstations that have actually inside the GPUs, and you can prototype local LLMs also on your laptops. More information about this particular last app that I'm showing to you also in my GitHub. You can simply copy the code. I don't care about the, let's say how it is, like property rights, etc. Just use it and learn from it if you want how to use it locally. I also have a Medium article about this, how to use the commercial, gated, and open source LLMs in your app, right? So that sometimes you need local LLMs whenever privacy is at stake. Potentially, I don't know, maybe Astrid, you know better, but at some hackathons that I attended, there were some kind of requests from companies to use local LLMs, and for this you will need a powerful GPU. So this might be also the case. I don't know how it's going to be the case in her hack, but I think this information is still interesting, so you can go through this and read how it can be done locally, but it will work only with powerful workstations. Will all teams use Streamlit during your hack? As you wish, because it depends, right? It depends on the challenge. So if challenge will involve some LLMs, I think it's quite convenient that you can use it. But if, for example, it relates only with something that you need to develop somehow, only an idea, only a prototype, then maybe it's even enough will be Figma, right? But if you need to use LLMs, then of course the Streamlit is kind of, I think, quite an easy solution to work with LLMs. But if you know how to build front end, if you know how to do HTML, CSS, how to connect backend and front end, if you're a full stack developer, then I think you can do something more advanced than Streamlit. But Streamlit is low code, quick to prototype, right? Something that you can easily leverage. And that can help you, especially in tasks like in hackathon. Okay, I hope I answered the question. So yep, then what we have, so this is a Python library, simply, right? A fast way to build and share data apps, right? Is whenever you need to do something with data, it's so many possibilities. Everything is for free. The Streamlit clause is for free. All of this is just for you to use. That's why it's really amazing. You know, this Python is, most of things is open source. And if you work with local model, of course, you don't need to pay for API key. If you work with commercial LLM, then you need to pay for API key. Today, for the API key, I will share with you the key so that you can test your apps. But later on, I will disable it in the evening today. So you will actually lose the access. So in Streamlit, if you click this link, then you will end up on the main page. And on Generative AI, they have so many examples how to do this LLM apps, right? So that you can also take your inspiration from here. And there's many of those. So if you click on, there's also file Q&A, chatbot, for example, the different options. It's a bit more, I think, simple from what we are going to build today, but still, I mean, if you go here, click on the GitHub, then you will have access to the code. So everything that you can find here is, there's also long chain examples, is going to be for free, accessible to you from GitHub. So you definitely can take these codes, but it's a good thing to also cite people whose code you're using. But if you don't do it, yeah, no one will actually find out the thing. But I would recommend to cite the work of people that you're using. It's a good, let's say, good, or at least put the stars on the GitHub profiles. Okay, then what else? There are different resources. You can go through them. There is documentation is available, how to set up, how to call the API, how to see like different apps, right? So a lot of help for you, cheat sheets. It's most used commands from Streamlit. They can be found here. I, of course, don't know all of them, but whenever is needed, you can refer to the cheat sheets. Cheat sheet is the basically sheet where you can find all the small helping functions or small, let's say, advice on syntax. So this is a cheat sheet. If you don't know, there is also a book and the blog post. The blog post, that's basically, yeah, you can read about different informations here. Yeah, this is only one blog post. There should be more actually, but yeah, this is one, how to master Streamlit for data science. You just can go through different blog posts and find this information. And you can deploy through Streamlit Community Cloud. This is, again, free of charge, but it doesn't have GPU. Gradio is another option, but I think Streamlit it's a good option, yes. But I think Streamlit is a bit more flexible in general. But Gradio, yes, from Hugging Face, you can use also Gradio. And thanks for this advice here. Actually, you can also share maybe the tools that you are working with, because there are different ways how to deploy. I myself find Streamlit so flexible, you know, we are familiar and it's easy to manage. So yeah, and that's why we go with this. So what is LLM? I think I don't need to introduce it because it's quite it's quite common knowledge already, but just, you know, for the sake of it, the LLM is AI model that is trained on the big amount of data. So like, you know, this ChatGPT or Google Bard, or now is Gemini was trained on its Wikipedia test, Stack Overflow text. And it is trained on the problem-solving tasks, right? So that it knows how to, it has really, really deep knowledge. The disadvantage of this that if the information is not there for the training, then it will not be able to provide you an answer. But in general, it is widely used for machine translation, information retrieval. You probably heard RAGs, like retrieval augmented generation. We actually do somewhat similar to RAG, like very, very simple example. Then sentiment analysis, where you need to understand if the text is provided, like the comments for the post of, I don't know, Donald Trump is good, is more positive or more negative. This way, politicians and like different influencers, they can find out what the audience think about them. So information extraction, this is of course how to summarize text, right? How to extract the meaningful information. Question answering, yeah, simply asking question and getting the answer from your files or from, yeah, any text that is provided. So this is basically a large language model, and large language model and NLP, which is natural language processing, are used in social media, healthcare, everywhere. Basically now everyone wants somewhat LLM powered up. Everyone wants the chatbots that wants to chat with the internal documentation or analyze some kind of texts, etc. So it's, I think you're pretty aware what's going on in this area. So, but if you want to read the good documentation, that a lot about the models can be found in Hugging Face documentation. So there are different information about transformers, for example, right? You can read here from Hugging Face community different information on the recent models, on recent advancements, on everything. And if you, whatever model you want to look for, it's on Hugging Face, you simply go to models, right? To models and look for, let's say, Llama. And then it will give you different versions of Llama. It's not only one, of course, it's different ones. And it's also Gemma. This one I used with, it's the small model from Google, this open source, Mistral, etc. Mixtral. So it's a lot of models available, and every one has a description. If you click on it, you can see, okay, how to actually work with this model, or what are key features. There are some models specifically trained for lawyers, for biotech, for education, for German language. So you can find, let me see if I can find it, let's say like this, German, maybe not, German. Yeah, so like Whisper is for working with audio, also in German. I see some questions. Okay, I think we are going now to the live coding. So let's do some questions. Is there a tool to compare and help choose the best LLM model for one's own use case? Yeah, like a tool, I think you need to experiment yourself and evaluate the different, let's say, outcomes for your use cases. But there are on Hugging Face, I'm not so sure where exactly, but maybe Kunal, you can search. There are different metrics. It's not in the models, but
yeah, I'm gonna send the link. It's
yeah.
leaderboard.
But there are different metrics that is used to work with large language models. And these are metrics, for example, there's like Rouge score, which is used for summarization, that you can analyze, okay, this model is a bit better than this one, given this score. So there are different types of scores. And with large language models, then you need to actually estimate. Yeah, it really depends what you want to do, right? Because even for like some kind of summarization task, you have different kind of scores. So you need to, yeah, Kunal will share it right now. So there are different, yeah, thank you. So actually, let me check it. So I click the link. Okay, so we have a leaderboard. Yeah. So we can find somewhere here where we can find the scores. But there's a nice article. I might share it afterwards about the evaluation of LLMs. Okay. Is there a tool to compare and help apart from streaming? Are there any more questions? I think I saw the raised hand with Anna Sprenger. So Anna, do you want to ask a question, or you do want to promote it for panelists? Can you write in chat, please? Anna Sprenger, if you can write in chat, or maybe write in chat directly to us what you want to know. That, yeah, that would be. Sorry, it was a mistake. Okay. Okay, then I think we can. Hugging Face is similar to Kaggle models. Kind of, I think, is similar, but on Hugging Face you can find, I think, all of the models that exist. I think Kaggle may be a bit more limited in this case, but let me see actually for Kaggle model card. Yeah, I think you can say it's similar. Yeah, you can download these models, and yes, you can play with it in Vertex AI. So yeah, and you can see different codes, how to fine-tune the Gemma models, for example, that how to use it. So you should have here some kind of Python code that helps you to tune. Yeah, so it's pretty similar actually. So for Kaggle, actually, it's really nice. Kaggle, if you don't know this website, Kaggle is the kind of aggregator for data scientists. It has a lot of different things like data sets. Whenever you need some information, some data, you might go to Kaggle data sets. Another thing that it has competitions, and competitions where you can win money actually. Like, for example, create an AI capable of solving reasoning problems, right? Tasks that it has never seen before, and you have a prize of 1 million. So you can form a team after hackathon and go participate in this challenge, and maybe you will be rich. So yeah, this is Kaggle for you. So there's a leaderboard. So basically, you can have fun by just doing these competitions as well. So this is something to prepare yourself actually for interviews, also for the hackathon. You can go to Kaggle and to solve these different problems. All right, I think we should go further so that we are on time. Kind of, we're 10 minutes late, but I think it's fine. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to, so what we are going to do, we are going to go through this app creation process, and we will get the notebook from here. You just need to click a link, or maybe Kunal, you can share, actually, copy link address. And this Colab notebook where we will work with. So we will install some requirements, open our tunnel to serve the app, and run our app with the link that is kind of shareable, but this is just a testing procedure, and the deployment will be the next step. So what you can do, you can open it, and then you can go to File, save a copy in Drive. This way you will be able to modify it, right? I think I need to maybe increase the font. Tell me if the font is okay for you. Can you see it? Yeah. Also, I was a bit sick, so if my voice is betraying me, please forgive me. But yeah, okay. So what we're going to do, we are going to build a simple file Q&A chatbot to chat with your own files. And this link you will be able to share actually with everyone if you want to share, or you can do it private. It depends on you. So you will be able to upload text article and ask question about the content of this article. So the app will be somewhat similar to kind of, yeah, this app, right? But we'll make it a bit simpler because of the time constraint, of course, and the Streamlit, it doesn't have the GPU, so we will make the simplest version, which is possible, right? Yeah. So we will work with Python, and you know that sometimes you need to, why I chose Colab for today, right? Because I don't need to create my environment. That's the thing, because if everyone, all the participants need to create environment, this is going to be a bit messy, I think. And you don't need to create environment in Colab. So that's why I chose it. It has its disadvantages, of course, because normally you will work with professional tools like VS Code or PyCharm. But here we will do everything from this notebook. Okay, so Where's the link to the code for the chatbot? The chatbot is not yet created, the one we are going to create. So the link to the collab we are going to work with is this one. Katarina, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, not only me, but many others also get an error when we try to open it.
Aha. This is weird because I shared everything is... Oh, okay, this is copy, but this one should have... You should be able to see.
Maybe you want to
Maybe
have
No, not
edit
only
text.
me, the others too.
try to refresh it. Yeah, you should be logged into Google. Thank you for the advice. It's one thing. Then Benjamin, the link was here. You should refresh it. So can you actually tell me maybe with thumbs up if you can open it? So we see if at least someone can open it. Okay, some people can open it, right? Okay.
With refreshing, it works.
Okay, refreshing it works. Okay, then just try to refresh it or to log into to Google Google Colab. Sometimes, yeah, it can be. That's why I want to actually do it kind of without interruption, the whole thing, because yeah, everyone can actually, I think everyone will have some difficulties now. So let me quickly show you, right? And then we discuss if you have any questions. And then, yeah, then we try it this way. If it works, if it doesn't, then we decide on the go what to do. Yeah, Isa, what you want to ask? You want to... I promoted you to panelist, so you can ask your question. Yeah, Isa? Sorry, it was a mistake. Okay. All right. Okay, let's do it like this. I will just show it for now, right? Because for some people it's working. It should work. The no restrictions that I set, nothing that I can change to allow you to use it. Everyone should have access to this. So please make sure you're logged in Google, that you have Google Colab, and that you actually refresh your page. Then it probably should work. Note when you write the message to chat from the drop down everyone, so that everyone can see your message. Yeah, okay, so true. Yeah, I need to write to everyone. Wait a second. Yeah, okay, Kunal, usually you send to everyone. I was sending to hosts and panelists, so sorry. All right, so let's do it like this. I'm showing you what we are going to do, and then we try to solve the issues that you have. But again, it should work actually. But yeah, let's see. So we will first install the Streamlit. We do it with pip install. Pip means this Python. Actually, I forgot the whole alias, what it means, but it's basically some installations for Python. -q, this parameter is for making it quiet, so it doesn't show us everything it does. Oh, actually, I need to go here. Sorry, I need to go here rather than the other one. Let's stop it. Just stop it. Okay, so this one is working. Yeah, make sure you create a copy. Again, I will reiterate it. File, save a copy in Drive. This way you will be able to modify it and it will be your own copy. Okay. Then this is kind of the first app that we're going to do. It's quite simple. I will just copy this code from here, everything, right? Just copy. I cannot copy it like this, so I need to use my keyboard. Command C, then paste it here, and I will run it. So what it does, it's writing this app.py. This is called %%. This is called magic command. This is magic command. that help me to write this into an actual app, because I will need it to run. So what it created an app. If I double click on this, right, I will see here that, okay, we have some kind of app, and this is the first thing that we created. So first, we should actually import, like always in Python, you need to import something, that in Python, now we import Streamlit as st. This is the common alias for Streamlit. And first thing we do, we set the title for our app, which will be Hello World, right? Quite simple. Then we want to actually serve this up, not serve this up, but we want to open the tunnel. And the tunnel is something that allows you to share locally running Streamlit app with others over web. We will create this URL, which will enable for you to click on it and you will see your app. So I'm installing it first. You see that the first one, we have this exclamation mark. An exclamation mark, what it does, it simply mimics basically the terminal. You know that whenever we run, we could do the same if we run the app locally, that we would do the same in terminal. But I don't have this environment right now in my terminal, so I'm not running it, okay? Because we are using Colab and everything will be done on kind of this remote terminal. So the next one is I'm going to, again, this command means that we are kind of activating this remote terminal with Streamlit run, right? This is the simple command which you can find on the Streamlit documentation, right? That it makes you to run your app. So what we are going to run, as our app is actually called app.py, right? So you see this app.py. This is what we are going to run. What is content here? The whole thing here is the path where we can find our Python file. And content, if you go one step out, then in content folder on Google Colab, on this temporary cloud, you will see the content folder and this app.py. That's why we have this content app.py added. But yeah, don't actually, yeah, it's just you need to provide the right path here. Then this end allows it to not only run it here, but kind of continue the command further. And the whole expression here is just redirect both standard output to, yeah, and it creates the content logs, right? So what we will do, it's kind of similar to running this is in terminal. Let me, to run first this command, and then run this command after that, right? It's not working here because, again, I don't have the proper environment set up, but this is similar to the commands that I just showed in terminal. Okay, we just run it. So what we will need from here, the logs file will be created, and we will need something from logs file. And from logs file, most likely everyone will have similar information, but we'll need this number here. It will be the port where we are going to serve our app, right? So we just expose the port 8501, which we found in logs. Most likely you will have the same, so you don't need to really even look into logs, but just in case, check whatever you have here that you will need to expose your app on this port. So you create the local tunnel, you run in your app on the port 8501, and you want to show the public IP address. The CURL is kind of, you know, calling the public IP address. So that's how it's done. And whenever I click,
Kate,
yeah,
there is a question that people have asked, like, how do you create the app.py file? Could you briefly cover it?
just quickly let me finish and then I will go around it, okay? So then it will open for you this page, which will ask you for the password. Which will ask you for the password. And as a password, you copy this information from here. And I need to refresh it, I think. Yeah, so I created the link Actually, everyone will be able to access my app right now, which is Hello World, right? Okay, so this part is finished, and yeah, let's come back to the question. What was it?
Someone has asked, how did you create the app.py file?
It's simply you create this, you copy the information on this cell to this cell. This is the text cell. If I double click, you see this is something that is not executable, right? By the way, to execute it, you need to press Shift and Enter. To execute then you just copy, right file, copy, and just paste it here. And then that's it. Then run it, press this play button, and then it will create app.py here. Does it work? Change to Chrome, but I still get the error. I don't have access, try to refresh many times in different browsers. That's really sad because actually, I mean, everything is... Okay, let me do the following. I will just maybe share another one. This is my copy. So maybe this copy can be, yeah. There's another link. I mean, they're both identical, so maybe you can use this. Okay, something worked. The copy works. Okay, for some reason, wow, that's really weird. Super weird. Okay. Great. Great. I'm happy to hear this. And yeah, so we solved the problem. Yeah, sometimes with software, you cannot really tell what is going to work. Could you please share again how we can make our own copy? So you do go to File, save a copy in Drive. When I click it, it will create another copy, right? For me and the first copy for you. All right. I mean, it's basically I did the same, but okay. All right. So what you need to do is to install your Streamlit in OpenAI, right? The OpenAI we will use for ChatGPT to have the ChatGPT in our code, right? So the next one is to copy this information to executable cell, which is below this one, and run it. Note that whenever your link is active, during this time, this code here will be still executed unless I click stop. But I'm not going to do it because from now on, we are going to work actually with this app.py file, and I will work directly with this file. Not the one finishing by authorizer. Okay, thank you, Benjamin. Yeah, I think maybe this is the difference. So not to myself for the future. Okay, so what do we do next? I imported Streamlit as a ST, but as you saw it, I download the OpenAI as well, right? I installed OpenAI, so I also will use this one. So I will continue. Again, let me come back to this again. I click app.py, and I continue to work with this app.py because I will line by line write the code here so that you will be able also to follow along with me. All right, so what do we do now? We import Streamlit as ST, and next one we import OpenAI, right? And the next one, actually, I think you need to do something else. Sorry, just let me check. Yeah, I think we need this line from here because otherwise it creates something else. Okay, we will import from OpenAI. We will import OpenAI for creating the client. And then we probably are fine. And then the next one, we need actually our credentials. Credentials will be kind of our password, right, for OpenAI key. Whenever you go to OpenAI website, let me see that the API. Yeah, because I'm logged in, so probably you will have it different. But yeah, let me go maybe from here. So you need to find the API keys. Otherwise, you will not be able to query from ChatGPT. So for this, you will need to register. You need to sign up in OpenAI, and you need to go to this link to get your keys. But now I will share it with you. So just wait a second. So we will create credentials, right? Credentials will be our key, basically. And one sec, I need to open something else. In the meantime, you can actually, yeah, in the meantime, let me share the credentials, right, in the chat. Open AI key. And for credentials, please don't share it with anyone. Don't abuse this key. Don't use it for many requests because we need to pay for this. This is attached to our credit card. So it's enough for this workshop to try and play. But yeah, please don't don't sell it anywhere, right? So that, yeah, we are going to share it with you. I'm going to disable it after the workshop, so you can maybe sign up for your own key. But for now, we will need credentials to kind of log in to our ChatGPT, right? For this, we'll need to. So you can, in the meantime, either copy it or save it somewhere for the text file, because we'll need it for the future. And actually, I need to. Yep. Okay. So we'll create a variable in Python, open, let's say, AI API key, because we will need to log in. For now, I'm setting it as an empty variable so that, yeah, because I want to provide it actually when I do the app, I want to provide it as a password, just because we will push our code. And I also will ask you not to push it with the credentials provided, right? So that so far I'm doing it just an empty string so that it's not getting exposed. And then I'm writing some conditions. And conditions will be for having the data science raised hand. What happens?
People are asking questions. They cannot. How can they find the tunnel password?
The what?
The tunnel password when you run the cell above it.
Okay.
Where you had the local tunnel.
Yeah. Password is actually here. Password, it's a bit counterintuitive, but that's how this local tunnel work. The password will be this code that you find here. Whenever you run, you can copy this 34.106. You have probably your own number here. So the password you need to copy. This is mine. I don't know if you actually, if it will work for you or not. You can test it, but
it's different.
It's different. Okay, then just paste it there. It should work. Yes, if you have this getaway timeout, just refresh it here. It should work. And now it's again bad getaway. I mean, somehow it's giving this error today. I don't know, maybe there's some alpha particle in space that leads to this. Just refresh and it should work. Okay. So, yep. And then we do some conditions here because if we need to make sure if the key is provided or if it's not provided. So what we do is just say, okay, if we have a key, basically, right? I'm copying this here. If this is satisfied, then what we have some Streamlit text saying that, thank you, basically open AI API key is provided, right? So we'll just display this message. And now let me save it. Actually, I'm saving it with Command Save or with Control Save. And whenever I'm changing something here, that something needs to change here as well, but probably it will not still be visible. Let me rerun it so I can rerun it. Okay, you cannot still see the changes because I don't have this. Yeah, I don't have this condition yet finished. Okay, else, what we can say that we say that the OpenAI API key will be our Streamlit text input. And text input, that is something that creates kind of this small window here where we can paste our password. No luck with refreshing. Okay, yeah, hopefully it works after some refreshings. So what we provide is that the text open AI, sorry, AI API key, right? And we set our identifier for this key, kind of an index for this key, chatbot API key, and then type as a password, and it will create for us a field which you can fill in kind of like a password. So let's also change the title, and title will be Q&A file, Q&A app, right? So that's is going to be our new title. I'm saving it with Command S, right? And let's hope that, okay, we see the changes. Okay, I need to refresh it. So, all right, so we have this OpenAI API key link, and we can provide our key here, right? But let's make it even more nicer. So I want to actually create a sidebar where I can provide all my additional information. And on this sidebar, we can simply do is this, right? Sidebar, column. Whenever you write some kind of statements in Python, kind of opening statements where you have this column, you need to move everything with tab, just so that all this code will belongs to this expression here. So this is a Python, let's say, peculiarity, and let's rerun our app. And you see we have a nice sidebar where we can actually provide our key, which I will do later when I finish my app. Okay, any questions so far? But maybe I will quickly finish it so that, yeah, so that then we can have the questions. So we created kind of our first title, we created our first sidebar and the place where we provide our key. So far, so good. We just can log in into OpenAI API account. So let's do a file uploader. So let's upload a file, right? Let's do a file uploader. And file uploader, we do it like this. ST, simply file uploader, easy as that, right? Let's provide some text. Let's say upload an article. And then we have type of this uploaded documents. And unfortunately, by default, sorry, type equal to, let's say one will be txt. By default, it's only allowed to do the txt files. So in order to do it PDF, I will share it in solution that you need to change something to make it read in the PDFs. So let's see if it created for us the file upload. Okay, very nice. Actually, let's move our title a bit up, right? Let's move it in front. Let's move it here, actually. It will be the first thing that we see. I'm saving it again, and if I rerun it, then we see, okay, file now is on top, and we have this upload an article. This is the text that we provide here, right? Upload an article, and I can drag and drop some files. So if I browse some files, let's say we have some recommendations for first-time hackers, basically for you, but we cannot read it yet. I don't have a parser yet, right? So my next step would be to create a parser. And for this one, I need to actually start to parse it. Yeah, but let me also okay, I will do something else at first. So let's also do our text input, because we want to ask a question to our file, right? So I will have let me make it nicer with capital letters. So we will have the text input, and text input is something that we want to ask to our file, right? And this we will do with the Streamlit text input, right? Like we did with our password, basically here, right? With text input. But this time our text input will contain some information about ask me something, right? Ask me something. And let's say we can have a placeholder. Oh, let's do it like this without any parameters and just saving it. So let's rerun it and we'll see, okay, I can ask something. But let's say we want to have some kind of example in this window. So we can have a parameter which called placeholder. And this placeholder will be, for example, can you give me a short summary? So we create a nice a hint for our user, right? That's what they can do with this. And yeah, we have this, can you give me a short summary? So you can see now how it is evolving when you work, when you go like line by line, you can immediately see the changes that you do to your app, right? And it's quite visual, quite simple. So the next step would be to actually create. Okay, next one, we can create the variables that, because we will need to use these variables later on for our purposes. So uploaded file will be this one, and question that we are going to ask to our program will be this one. You will not see these changes on the app itself, but we will use these variables later on because it's more convenient to work with variables than with the whole expression here. So we have our text input, we have our variables, and then we can have, yeah, actually we can also create another parameter here when this window will be disabled when we don't have uploaded file. So that's how we can actually use our variables, right? So when we don't have a file, then let me test it now. I don't have a file, so the window you see it's disabled. Whenever I have a file, then the window will be again deactivated and I can write here the information that I want. All right, so we store our question and we upload our file. It's really one step only left. It's just we connect to our large language model and that's it. So what we'll have, I will have another variable because I need to decode this uploaded file. So we do this uploaded file read and decode. So this is how I will actually read it into the system and to decode. The API key you can provide here, API key, but it's not yet useful because we are not connected to API yet. So our article will be the decoded file that we provide, and our question will be whatever we write in here. So let's now create the prompt and we create a prompt, which will basically we provide to our app. My prompt will be to f-string. F-string, it says that it helps me to actually take into account variables that I will write here. So I will be able to work with an article, and I will be able to ask question to an article. So here is an article, right? And whatever file we provide will be saved in this variable, right? And then what I want to do is, it's similar to how we do prompts actually in real life, right? These two ends, they're similar to, okay, let me finish this one and I will explain you how it will look like, how you can imagine it. And here we can provide a question, right? So what we can do, what it's going to do is that it's going to create kind of a prompt. So whenever you put it into ChatGPT, maybe I can open ChatGPT, it will create somewhat like this. So whatever article we have here, right, it will be, okay, here is an article. Okay, it's a bit ugly, so that I can, okay. The article is, now let's do it like this. Recommendations for the participants for the hackathon, right? It will be the whole text of an article. And the question is basically, then it makes two lines down, right? And it's, and let's say, summarize it, please. For example, so whatever you provide here, it will go into this question and the whole text will look like this. So imagine this variable is whatever your PDF file or whatever text file you have, and this question is whatever you provide here. And then in the end, it will collect the whole information into one prompt, and it will be, okay, here is an article, summarize it, please, right? That's how it will look like. So you created the prompt. And then the next one, a step is to connect to your client. And the client is basically you need this OpenAI, right? To open a client. OpenAI, then we have API key. API key. I'm choosing it from the suggested parameters. And we know that our variable for API key is this one, right? So I'm just copying things from our code that we already created, right? This is one thing, and we call it client because it's just the standard how you call it. And we will access this client in order to get the answers from our ChatGPT. So we created this client, and the next step is to actually give it some tasks. So now the syntax is this way, that you provide it in form of these messages. And messages, they're kind of system messages. Actually, I think I will copy it from because it's really too long to type in. So we will have, something is wrong here. What is happening? Okay. I will just share it in the chat so that you can also copy paste it. Somehow we didn't read the spaces very well. So I just share it in chat. So basically messages can be of several types. And one is, let's say you need to define your role for the large language model. And let's say your system role would be like, you are a helpful assistant. And the user role, it will just provide the content that you want to ask, just your prompt, right? And runtime is being disconnected. This is bad, but yeah, let's see if it works, if it still works.
Hi, Kate. In the meantime, copy paste is not working for the participants.
Sorry, what?
Copy paste is not working for the
From the chat.
participant from the chat. So maybe I can suggest is this recent version of your notebook, and if you want to print out the OpenAI API key in the notebook itself, and then share that notebook.
Let me do it okay, in this notebook, in the copy. Let's do it. Okay. Then let's do it in the first line. Right. Let me do it here. So first of all, I will, oops. And copy the last messages like this. Why it's wait a second. Okay, Control C. Yeah, okay. It's copied these messages. And then API key is this one. Okay, I hope it works. Let me know if you have access to it. I'm saving it for now. And yeah. Okay, it seems it's working. Then the next step would be to try to run it. But I guess actually as it's been disconnected, I need to run things again. So let me copy this. Let's see. Unfortunately, I need to run it again because my runtime has got disconnected. So but in the meantime, we actually can discuss the questions. Can't you share the link of this copy to your call? Yes, I can. Share it. By the way, did you manage to get to this step to actually load and run from the local tunnel? Okay, someone managed. Doesn't work. So okay, I somehow it's still, yeah, right. I need to restart it, sorry. Yeah, sometimes Colab gets disconnected, and that's why, I mean, I'm doing it only for demonstration. Whenever you want to work with your real app, of course, you will work with more with other techniques, right? So let me do this. app.py, I'm rewriting it, and yeah, running local tunnel again. Okay, maybe it was not really disconnected. That's why it told me. Okay, this. I'm just doing the same steps. Then it will open another app. Okay. And with this code as a password, click to submit, and then yeah, okay. So then the app.py, and I think I lost my progress. Yeah. Whatever. So let me just copy until here. Actually, until messages. I think I finished here. All right. So this part we covered with you. This is the key provider, the Streamlit title, uploaded file, question, uploaded file. Then so we stopped at messages, right? This is actually a last step that we need to do because, yeah, I will explain you what this means afterwards. I wanted to explain you step by step, but yeah, I lost my progress, so I need to somehow actually, yeah, switch a bit here. So what is next step is to create basically this call the client. Where is this client? Call the client, right? I think it's correct. And we do chat completions, right? Completions and dot create. And when we create it, that will create the response actually from the model. We set the model to ChatGPT, GPT 3.5. GPT 3.5 Turbo. Let's do it this way. And of course, you can go for the GPT-4, but GPT-4 is very expensive. So it's much better if you stick to 3.5, because actually when you connect to 3.5, you can do much more requests than with GPT-4. With GPT-4, the price is like really spiking, so you're not able to do anything. So yeah, so that's why we are choosing this model, which is basically will access the GPT 3.5 API. So we're creating this response, and we can set like different parameters, but for now, let's say we only need messages. So for messages will be equal to messages that we provide here. So whatever messages we provide. Basically, what it does, it creates the connection to ChatGPT API. Then it says, okay, tells it to act as a helpful assistant. And then what you do is that you provide your prompt, and you get the prompt answered here. Then let's do a response variable, right? So it's basically created this response. Then let's save and let's rerun our model, our app. And while it's trying to run, maybe you have some questions. Almost got there. Yeah, it's one step. Okay, so let's see. That should work right now. We have our recommendations for first-time hackathons file, right? And let's ask to summarize it. Let's see if we can do actually, please summarize it for me, right? I'm pressing enter, and it asked me to add my API key to continue. And that's where I actually go to the to this notebook, and I copy the API key, because without it, I cannot do a connection to OpenAI API. I'm copying it, and I hope it will work. And let's see if it works. Yay! Do it. Okay, but it's not summarizing it. It's summarizing it, but I did not yet give any output actually. So let's do output, right? Let's see the response. The response will be our output, and I'm not showing it. But if I just expose it like this, it should show some response. Let's see. We run. Then it's still, yeah, okay. It's showing me a response, which is not very convenient for us humans to see, right? Do we have control over the files we upload, location of server? Or no, we don't have a control for now, because this is for testing, right? The files you upload, you mean the files that you upload here in Streamlit itself. The Streamlit, yeah, I think I need to understand what kind of control do you mean. It will be uploaded on Streamlit Cloud. It will be uploaded on Streamlit Cloud, but it is possible to make this app with the password. So you create the password and no one else, only you can access it. So this is also possible, right? This you can check in the Streamlit documentation, but yeah. But it's quite safe if you provide a password. Because, it's on Streamlit, but it's not really trackable, and yeah. So you can, but you can also work locally, and you can deploy it on any cloud that you consider safe, right? All right. So far it is quite, it's hosted locally on my Google Colab Cloud, but then we will deploy it on Streamlit Cloud, and it will be hosted there. I will make it accessible to everyone, but feel free to make passwords. All right, so we see that our response looks like this, but we need only the choice from here, right? We see choices, choice, etc., right? we don't need any metadata from the response. So what we need to do is to go here and to see how to extract this information. And you need to navigate to this point. So you will do it with this response. Let's say, let's show choices. Right, let's show our first choice. I'm saving it and I'm rerunning it. And hopefully I will get only, yes, you see it's narrowed down. So the next one we need to go is message, right? Is message. Message. It even helps you to, and I'm rerunning it and we see the message is, yeah, good. It shows me some summarization and I think I need to get to the content. And content is, yeah, also give you actually a hint how to make a content, and then yeah, that's it. So you got your answer, you summarize your article, you basically got kind of ChatGPT into your Python code, and then yeah, you can submit any text that you want and ask any questions related to this text. So this is kind of an example. It will take information because you created the prompt where you define, okay, this is my article and this is my question. So if I change question, the answer will change, of course. So what are the key takeaways, right? I can ask what are my key takeaways, and it will, okay, start small, focus on learning, prepare your, actually, you know, let me show you the file itself. This is file which was also generated with generative AI, of course. The recommendations for the hackathon, first-timer hackathons, like start small, focus on learning, prepare your tools, collaborate and communicate. So these are the points that ChatGPT considers useful for hackathon, and this is how it summarizes these points. So what else can be done? Like, will I win the hackathon? So let's see what it can answer based on this question. And winning a hackathon is a combination of various factors, including your skills, preparations, teamwork. Let's say based on the file. And what it can say us is not solely dependent on following the recommendations. So you see, it's kind of interacting with an article and trying to provide you the information that is stored there. Okay, now you got there. It works. Thank you. Congrats. I'm happy that it worked for someone. And yeah. So if you run this up locally, then of course all the privacy is there. But if you deploy it and let's say you don't put any password, etc., then of course the files, they're not supposed to be exposed. All right, the files, they're kind of safe, but your code, everyone will be able to see it on GitHub. But the files, they will be on Streamlit Cloud, and they're not, I mean, as safe as Streamlit Cloud is, that, yeah, that's as much as you can rely on them. But there are ways to deploy, of course, this app not only on Streamlit Cloud, but of course on Google Cloud, on your local machine. You can deploy it on your local machine and you share the link with people you want to, if you have powerful GPUs, for example, or if you, then you can make the model private and the whole thing private. But then you also can do, yeah, actually it's 7 already, and I don't know, I can quickly show how to deploy it. Probably it will be quite quick. But in the meantime, maybe you can tell me, whoever was able to run it, that it's working. If it's, yeah, I guess if someone was able to run it, it's already some kind of success. I will share these instructions and I will share the GitHub repo and the recording. So potentially it should be possible. Yeah, works, but missing the pop-up for the API key. Okay, actually it should be there. But in the notebook itself, if you missed some steps on what I did just now, in the notebook itself, further on, there is text. Basically, if you copy paste it in your app.py, it should work, because this one does not have any mistakes. So everything should be looking exactly like this. And yeah, I can, for sharing the text file, I think yeah, you can create some text file yourself and you can find the text file. And there are small exercises that I prepared that you can increase the length of the answer, but actually it's working quite well, so you don't need to do this. But you can change other parameters if you go here and see, okay, what kind of OpenAI parameters exist. So you can also change, let's say what we have here. They're different, right? Messages is a parameter. What kind of model to use, you can change it. Let's say you can change, I think, temperature. For example, changing the temperature will change of how creative your model will be. So the higher temperature, it's like, yes, with the fever in the person, so it will really lead to the more creative results. So yeah, if you want, you can share your links for your apps in chat so that others can maybe access it. But this is not yet, how to say, complete process, right? Let me, yeah. There's an error before there is an error until I input the key. So then is the best if you actually copy this information right from here. This should not give you any errors. And if you save it, it should work because it has the conditions. For example, if your key is not uploaded, I think this condition is important that you need to have uploaded file, a question, and the OpenAPI key. But if not OpenAPI key, then you say, okay, you need to actually provide it. So these conditions need to be satisfied. And I think also this condition in order to make it work, because this will give you if the file is uploaded and the question is there and the OpenAI key is there, then only you start this process, right? So let me quickly reiterate what we have done. What we did just, we created an app, the Python file for an app. We created the kind of front end, the sidebar, and the main, let's say, page with the title, the uploaded file, the file upload functionality, and also the question functionality. Then we combined this both together to make it a prompt, right? So that we have our prompt. Then we call our client, which is ChatGPT. We call it here later on, right? To basically interact with the prompt that you created here and give you an answer. The final answer is to be found under this expression when you get this response, and yeah, navigate to the content of this response. So this is just general basic LLM powered app. And of course, you can do much more. You can explore in the links that I share in my presentation. And there are different possibilities, of course. For example, as I said, I prepared the small exercise, like with parsing the PDF files. It would be convenient, right? So far, it can parse only the text and MD files, but then to parse PDF files, it's not so complicated, and I will share the solutions. It's just slightly to modify the code, but also it's possible to parse PDF files, and also there are instructions how to actually deploy it on the Streamlit Cloud, because whenever I will close my notebook here, then this app will disappear, and we don't want that, right? It's not really, I mean, you can have it for some time, but in order to make it fully functional so that you can share it with your clients or you can present it in hackathon, right? You need to deploy it. And for this, you need to follow these instructions. And, you know, I think I will quickly do it, right? Just show it to you that you have this recording. And yeah, probably don't try to repeat it after me, because then it's most likely will not work in the beginning. But then you will see the recording and you can probably fix the issues. So what I will do is I only will simply follow these instructions and you will see that, okay, I'm doing only that. Let's create, okay, what it says. I'm opening the terminal, right? I'm opening the terminal in this, let's open terminal here. Right, I'm opening it here. And can you see it? Is it visible? I'm making it a bit bigger. So I'm just going to do this directory, make directory, my Q&A, right? And then I'm navigating to this my Q&A. So I'm inside this folder now. This is empty for now. What do? I do git init. Actually, no, I need to, if you do not have a git folder set up yet, create a new directory. Okay, I do git init. And it creates me the empty git repository. You can see this hidden .git file in order to prove it. But what I'm doing now is actually I'm going to copy my app.file, readme and requirements, and also git ignore. I'm just copying it, but you can copy it from the GitHub actually. Requirements. In the requirements file, it's just txt file, which tells us what packages we used, and we used only Streamlit and OpenAI, so it's not much. We just create a requirements file with these packages that we used. The README will be just similar to this one. It's just the information that we put visible to everyone and explaining what this app is doing. So that is the README. We have everything. So git ignore is something that you don't want to be exposed to public. So git ignore, you can actually go here, Google git ignore generator. There is a nice generator. Maybe I will share it in the chat. This is always needed when you first push your code to the Git. So you have for Mac, for Windows, you can provide whatever Python information that you want to ignore, and it will create for you this file. What I'm doing is just copying it, paste into this git ignore. I already have it here, but just, for the sake of it, I just copied this information. They're all different kind of garbage packages, not packages, but garbage information that we don't want to be pushed, right? So it's some kind of temporary files, etc., etc. So it's a lot of things that can be end up in public. So that, yeah, and we do our first commit, but for this, I think we need to do first to git add, and then we do git commit. Let's say this will be our first commit. We have done the commit, and then the next one is to git push. About Git, there is information that I share. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to this one. This one we will need to modify slightly, so let me do it like this. First of all, I need to create my repo, and I'm going to my GitHub. I hope everyone of you have their GitHub accounts ready. And I'm creating a new repo, that is just have my name, let's say her hack 2024. And all the default parameters, you don't need to anything change here. So yes, and just copy this. Instead of these instructions, right, username and repo name, I have my name and just the repo name that I created and .git. Right, that's I'm doing, and then git push. Then there is a kind of error message, but just copy what it tells me to do. So it should work now. Yes. So let's go to my GitHub and see if something has changed there. Okay, it has changed. We see that the README is here and the app is there and everything is there. I hope app is working actually, because I'm copying something that, yeah, it should be okay. So we go to these instructions again. Now we created our requirements file. It is here. So this is satisfied. Then we just deploy our app. I'm going to this link, and you do the same basically, right? And then you do create an app. Then yes, I have an app, and then I'm connected to my GitHub so that my app would be to choose from her hack. This is basically the same path that I had it here, right? Her hack, etc., etc. Katerina, her hack. Then from main branch, I didn't change anything. So my app is named app.py. It will actually advise you everything on its own. It will just tell it. And here I can change the name of my app. I don't like this tail here, so I just call it like this 2024 LLM and just deploy. It's as easy as this. And what it will do is just, it will prepare some time building you up, but after it's done, it will be constantly available. It will be available for everyone, so no one will actually able to break it, and you will have your app which you can share with others. And it's fully functioning app that you have done. So yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to show you today. I think this is, okay, sure. You're welcome. I think this is very helpful when you prototype, when you do something for hackathon. That's how easy you can test something, right? You just simply work with this app.py and it's immediately showing the changes that you do, right? Without any payments. I mean, okay, you need to pay for API key, but that's it. It's not very expensive actually, if you don't call it too much. Then I will share with you the solutions, how to do PDF, but you can actually explore on your own first. Maybe I will share the solution tomorrow. And then you can leverage much more reading the longer files and tune this up as much as you want to. Feel free to use this code. It's not a like private property, anything, so that just for you to learn from it. And you can write me questions. Magic Mirren, ask me question. Okay, it's still working, but it will take some time. And while it's there, maybe I can answer some questions. The recording of the session, yes, you will get the recording. Yes, I'm sorry, it's maybe a bit fast, but otherwise I think it's, probably will finish in the midnight, but the recording will be there. How do we close the connection with deployment? What do you mean? How do we close the connection with deployment? Yes, you can just delete the repo, and you can delete your app also in Streamlit. Once it's finished, I can show you how to delete it. But it's also simple. You just delete it in Streamlit. You just delete the GitHub repo, and it's disconnected. There's things that I think is important to note. Okay, the instructions, everything you can find in the slides. It's there. Okay, I would like to know if you would use OpenAI if you wanted a cost-efficient solution or if you would go for a free LLM. It depends. So cost-efficient solution is really depends on the task. So for, let's say, medical applications, for the finance information, it's always best to use local LLMs. I cannot say it's really cheaper because for this you need really powerful GPUs, right? So you need to either pay, okay, once for GPUs, but then you can control everything that you do, or you pay for the APIs. It's in both cases kind of you're paying, but the Google Colab, they give you free GPUs, so you can at least experiment there, but you cannot really deploy there. It will disconnect after some time. So for experimenting, you can go to Colab. For deploying local solutions, you need local GPUs, and for APIs, of course, you need to attach your credit card. So then the notes I wanted to share, of course, for the real development, you will use VS Code or PyCharm, right? Which is not a Google Colab, so you can explore it there. And to get the open API key, you can go to this link. There are different things that you can do. You can use, local models. You can use this like Llama, Mistral, or Gemma. You'll need a local GPU, as I mentioned. Again, there are nice links which can show you, okay, how to do this as well. And to deploy, the LLM-powered applications. It's not only Streamlit, of course, it's also, you can do it with Hugging Face spaces, I think with Gradio, you can create a front end. Someone shared in the chat with Amazon SageMaker. You can also, you can use Google Cloud, so whatever you prefer. And then, yeah, for GitHub, I really recommend you to look into this. What is GitHub? There is kind of information how to work with this. I would recommend you to watch videos, because if you want to enter IT and you want to learn how to code, then GitHub is something that helps you to version control your code, build apps, and also maintain the code. So it's something that is widely used. And for upcoming events, we have HTML and CSS fundamental session on Thursday. Then we have on Friday, actually, the prompt engineering from our side, from Constructor Academy. Then there is UX UI design. You probably know this, right? In the next week, and also pitching techniques. I mean, here, okay, you need to suffer a bit like today, but pitching techniques are quite relaxed. So, and yeah, I hope you learned something new today, and do check our programs if you're interested. And today you have an offer, 10% discount. I mean, not only today, I mean, you use this promo code, you can just have this 10% discount for our courses. And thank you. Thank you. Is it, in terms of keeping your data private, is it the same OpenAI and then a free LLM? No, it's not the same. The free LLM, which you can find on Hugging Face website, you can run it completely locally. So no, like, because whatever I'm using right now, ChatGPT, it gets access to my files, right? And they claim they cannot really train on the data that we provide, but who knows? Who knows? So in order to keep your files safe, you better use local models. Yeah. What else? Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Yes, for sure. I will share the slides. I will share the solutions, the GitHub repo, the instructions, the recording. So you will have access to everything. And I hope you can use something from what you learned today in Hackathon. Last time people used it, and I think, yeah, it helps you to build really quick and powerful tools. How do we register for the Friday session? All right, the Friday session, you can register. Okay, good question, right? Because I didn't share it here, let me do it. Let me add the link in the slides. So the Friday session will be available on our website in events, right? We have all the upcoming events, actually. There's also info session tomorrow. If you're interested, you can join this one. But the Friday session, you can sign up here on our website. Let me see if I can copy this. No, I will not copy this, but then I'll copy this link and just find it in the events that we have. Let's do it like this. Okay, so you will have a link in slides, and also I will share it in the chat. All right. I didn't receive link for it in my registration email. No, it's a separate, because this pink ones is from the HerHack community, right? This one is still from us. This one is still from us. This one is from the lead UX UI designer from Sunrise, and actually really nice also activist in Figma community. So I think Friends of Figma. He runs Friends of Figma. So, but this one is from us. That's why you didn't get the link to register. Okay. I didn't receive the link. I have a question again about the cost of OpenAI. I heard about an option of using embeddings to convert the data so that you don't need to send the documentation all the time on the net. So it's a bit cheaper. I'm not sure if I'm using the right. Yeah, okay. There are vector databases. Of course, you can tokenize your data and use this vector database. Might be cheaper, yes. But I mean, it depends on the amount of information that you have, right? So, and the model that you use. For example, the ChatGPT 3.5 model is quite reasonable, so that you can spend in a month of working with such kind of an app that we created, let's say maybe spend like $5. But then if you use ChatGPT 4, which is more advanced, then you will spend up to 100 easy. So it depends on the model you use. And yeah, embeddings to convert the data. Yeah, it can actually simplify it a bit, but then you need to always see from, actually, I don't know, I think it's not really publicly available information, OpenAI token price, that you cannot easily find the exact calculation. Okay, someone created it, but it's not on the, okay, you see it. Pricing. Yeah, there's a different prices for tokens, but then what is token in GPT, I think it's not really clear. Yeah. Then, okay, for a chatbot similar to what we built, but when the information is bigger, you mean that when you work with the bigger files? Actually, I don't know, maybe Stephanie, if you're here, maybe you can answer how much did you spend for working with the huge reports, if you know it, Stephanie? Or
I think we work mostly with with Mistral and Llama. Alex used it locally. I used it through Colab.
okay.
It was just in the end that we added OpenAI, and it was not so much. I think that in fact we also used the key from Engageability. And so
it was not that much, right? Even with working
it was
with
not that much. No,
200 pages.
I mean they also had like a cap, I think, something like that, and so that doesn't go too high, and we didn't met that. I mean, there was some issue with the key at some point, but it was not because of the spending, and yeah. So
yes, if you work with 3.5 model, it will be reasonable pricing. So, for example, I think it's like $5 per working with maybe like 100 of big reports, something like this. With the smaller models, it's the estimation, right? Don't go and immediately run it without in the infinite loops. But then if you work with GPT-4 or 4.0, actually, I'm not so sure, but with 4, it's really, it's very pricey. It goes with the requests quite fast. And I think you can use it for more when you need really precise information, like medical operations, finance operations, something like this. Maybe you use, the more advanced model. But for the simple chatting with files, 3.5 is enough. Yeah, I hope I answered your question. Maybe I thought that it was more expensive and that the difference was bigger and also some. Yeah, the difference is big between 3.5 and 4. But yeah, but in general, it's for the simple app, it's quite reasonable. Yeah, so any more questions that you have? Thanks a lot. The great session. I definitely learned a lot in such a short amount of time. Looking forward to use Streamlit to prototype applications soon. Oh, very nice. I'm happy to read this. And yeah, wow, like you're very active in the chat, and I'm really happy that the discussion is going on, so that, okay, you were able to run at least something and then create the app, etc. So yeah, and I hope you can join the hackathon and that you can really get this nice experience. So there is a raised hand from attendee. Okay, Magic Mirren, I guess it's still there. But yeah, I think we're mostly fine. All right, thanks a lot for attending, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, and let's see each other in the hackathon.